will call this meeting Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. Everyone please rise. This time I'd like to call on Commissioner Mahler to give the invocation.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, you today asking your blessings on this court. Most importantly, we ask for guidance and direction in the decisions that we must make, not only today, but in the weeks and months to come. Lord, we'd ask that you'd watch over our leaders in Austin, our leaders in Washington, and our leaders right here in Wichita Falls. Lord, we'd ask that you would continue to bless this great country. We realize we live in the greatest country with the most freedoms that have ever been on the face of your earth, and we'd like to retain that, and we need to be appreciative of it and respect it. Lord, we'd ask that you'd go with us, continue to send us the rain that you've sent and healed our parched soil. We're so grateful coming out of the summertime in the shape that we're in, and we realize that that's a blessing from heaven, and it's not to be expected, but to be appreciated when it comes. Lord, we'd ask that you'd watch us, deliver us, and guide us as we move about our ways, and most of all, deliver us from our sins. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. This time I'd like to call on Dan Shelton to introduce our special guest from his youth organization. He's Executive Director of the Southside Club. Mr. Shelton.
Thank you, Judge Gossam. Yes. Good morning, Commissioners. Judge Gossam, Dan Shelton here, Executive Director of the Southside Youth Center. I'd like to introduce one at a time Megan Wayard, her brother Brandon Wayard, Aaron Organ, and Zachary Organ. So I got a couple of sibling pairs here.
All right,
and Brandon, how about you take the lead and let's do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas flag's over here.
I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much. Very good job. Take your seats. A while ago, I asked them if they thought they could do the pledge, and I got resounding sure's, and y'all did a great job, and we appreciate you leading us in that.
Answer, there's no bone.
Tell her to keep recording. We'll see what happens. Okay. You've got the other recorder on also. Okay. All right. This time I'd ask the court to take action on the consent agenda. I do want to advise under item number 4, we have other similar agreements that came in for the Central Magistrate's Office, the JP3 office, and JP4, and I would anticipate one on JP2. These are ministerial in function, and with permission of the court, I'd ask that we would add CMO JP2 and 3 and 4 under this item.
Judge, I would make a motion that we accept the consent agenda with those changes that you noted.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mahler, a second by Commissioner Gonzalez to approve the consent agenda with the modifications read into the record. Any other comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 1 on general business is review and approve the emergency and regular bills for payment.
So moved, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harvey, a second by Commissioner Mahler to approve the emergency and regular bills. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 2 is to receive quarterly interpretation briefing from Wichita County Ag Extension Officer, Mr. Graff.
We appreciate the opportunity to come and
introduce some of the things that we do in the extension service.
Natural.
Before, we've got some of the young kids that have been working some with our what we call a sustainable garden
David,
project.
would you look and see if that microphone's on?
Hopefully the battery's not dead.
Yeah.
I'm sure glad I'm not the only one that has to put their glasses on to see if it's turned on.
Little light come on?
Does that work?
There you
That's
go.
okay.
Thank you. Anyway, we're going to let the kids visit just a little about our sustainable resource gardens. We've got 5 here across the city that are pretty foundation help support. They've been working on that now for a little over a year, and we thought it'd be good to finally got some of them up and actually active. They're using rainwater as their source for this, and this particular group, their location had to use a pump to pump it up, but our others are all on gravity flow. So we appreciate what all they've done. We'll let them talk about it. Did a little handout if some of you want to use that, just to kind of show some of the things we've done in the last few months. Marketing is one that our producers, they help decide what our focus needs to be for extension. As you can see, water is one of those that we, of course, are very interested in that. What we do in agriculture in particular here, we do some variety trials with wheat, because wheat is a big part of it here. Do marketing. Unfortunately, I've showed just a real brief look there in the top line, and you don't have to know much about accounting to see that when it's in the red, they're not going to make much money. And I know that our guys are trying to figure out a way to make that work. We're looking at some prices for wheat that's not been that low since back in the 70s, and so really going to be a challenge in the coming year. We've got a couple of groups that work and meet with that. Also, some of the things that we do is with our cattle. We have seminars there. Actually, tomorrow night we have one. It's going to be working on how to look at different feed costs and then try and figure out a way to help save a few bucks but not hurt our production. We're working on a soil moisture study right now, not just in agriculture but also in horticulture, both trying to do some things there. Horticulture, you can see there on the back a number of things. We've just had an unbelievable amount of calls and site visits we've had to make this year. If you've noticed, a lot of the trees are really and they're very erratic, not just specific ones but across the county. And I think what our pathologists tell me, we've just had 2 wet springs and then some real heat, and it's just been ideal, in particular for cotton root rot. Is actually what's causing this in a lot of the trees. But I'm going to stop on that and let Dan come and kind of introduce the kids, or he can tell you, or he's going to let them tell just a little of what they do and learn with this.
A little background. About 2 years ago, all area nonprofits were approached by the Riverbend Nature Center and David as an expert. And I couldn't raise my hand high enough because I've been gardening for over 30 years, and what a great fit for kids programs. And we had the perfect space to make that work. We just recently made our 4th planting in our garden that's been in use for about 18 months or so. We involve the kids in everything that we do. We're also we also have a 10 kW solar array as well. That was a recent addition here about 6 months ago. So we're doing the right thing for the environment and bringing up the kids right in that regard, respecting the environment and causing them to understand that these are precious resources, and to have them as a sustainable resources is the true future for our world. But Megan, could stand please. She's got a handout, and we got some photos at Southside's garden there. She'll hand those out. Zachary, if you step up. And Zachary's kind of my head gardener here.
Thank you.
and I'll give the microphone to Zachary, and he could tell the Commissioners Court about his daily duties.
Okay, so what I do is mostly like turn on the pump and like water the garden. I also watch out for like nut grass, weeds, and all that sort of stuff. We've been planting carrots, radishes, bloom cauliflower, and beans.
Can you tell me what you do when you find nut grass?
You just pull it out like gently, and then throw it away.
Oh, wait.
What's your favorite vegetable out of the garden?
Carrots.
Carrots are good. Well, that's a big old pretty tomato she's holding in that picture, I'll tell you. Pretty cool.
Okay, and we'll give everyone an opportunity to describe their favorite vegetable.
You bet.
Megan, what's your favorite?
Cucumber.
Megan likes the cucumbers, and Brandon?
Carrot.
Carrots. And Aaron?
Radishes.
Radishes.
Radishes. Okay, we're growing radishes as well. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for allowing us the time to tell you about what's going on in the South Side. David, thank you so much.
Thank y'all for your.
Good job.
Good job.
Thank y'all for letting us come in.
Well, thank you all, kids. Good job.
Good job.
Dan, I want to take a special moment to tell you thanks. What you have done over that organization and getting the community and the physical changes you made there, we're all very appreciative. It's going to have great impact on them as they become young adults. Thank you.
so much.
I tell you what, at some point in time, we're going to realize how important it is that we've got young people like this learning how to make something and how to grow something. That is huge. We don't even know the benefits yet, but we're going to know it down the road. It's tremendously important. Tremendously important. Almost a lost art. So congratulations, guys. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, kids.
I guess the only problem I'd have, David, is I'm not sure I wanted you to hand these figures out when we've got a banker. I don't like all that red ink on that.
I'm studying it hard.
I was gonna say, don't let Willie have a copy of that. That's not good. We try and keep that a secret, but I don't think we can.
Okay, item number 3 is discuss, consider, take action on proposed terms and conditions offered by Pilgrim Bank for $3,500,000 lease amount and authorize county judge to sign if accepted. Commissioner Watts, you've kind of carried the ball on this one.
Yes, and Sam's here this morning with Leroy's office, and Sam, I'll let you just kind of tell us where we're at in this equation.
Judge and Commissioners,
Introduce William
as
before.
Commissioner Watt
Introduce
noted,
William
we've been
before.
through this process and ultimately received some bids, and I guess I'll kind of defer to Murphy to talk about the financial aspects of bids, but from a legal standpoint, we've determined we're going to structure this as a finance contract with whatever bank is ultimately selected, which it looks like it's Pilgrim Bank, and again, I'll let Murphy talk about sort of the financial aspects of the bid, but from a legal standpoint, we will be sort of structuring this as a finance contract, and it will be a taxable transaction, and that's ultimately it on the legal side. So.
And Sam, just as an adjustment, on this 3.5, Pilgrim is the only bid that's on the taxable, the tax exempt, so where we have the alternatives.
Right.
So Pilgrim is the top bidder
right.
for that particular project.
Murphy, did you want to talk about the rate on that, or?
No, whatever you want to do, the Pilgrim gave a 2, 5, and 7, and I think paperwork's done for 7 years.
Yes.
Whatever's acceptable to the commissioners and Pilgrim Banks, we provide it's a taxable financing, and we appreciate them stepping up and giving us a bid on that. Because we couldn't combine it As you might recall, we couldn't combine it with the other because it was a taxable issuance versus a tax exempt. So Pilgrim gave us a bid on that. They also bid on the tax exempt portion. We'll cover that in a little bit. But on this taxable section for the software, Pilgrim is the only bidder.
Great. And William, I'd like to introduce you if you'd stand up. William Bachman's here with Pilgrim's Bank, and very involved through the whole process, stayed involved and stayed attuned to what we were doing throughout the bid process, understood the software and how important it was to the county. I've worked with William for a long, long time, and William, we appreciate you being here and having the interest in bringing your guys to the table on this. So.
We're grateful to be able to complete the process with you all. We support the county as much as we can.
And Commissioner Watson, the judge, it sounds like the 7-year term has been selected, so that's one thing in the documents you're going to sign today. The finance contract will include an exhibit which will have that term specified in an amortization schedule, and so we'll be working with Murphy and Mr. Bachman to get those details and then incorporate that into the final execution.
Great.
Well, and both of these have an early payoff without penalties, so we're in good shape that way. And that's one of the reasons we looked at the 7 year just to.
Right, that is correct.
Yeah. All right.
Judge, I'd make a motion that we accept the proposed terms and conditions offered by Pilgrims for a $3.5 million lease amount and authorize you to sign.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Mahler to approve the item as stated. Let me throw one other thing in. Talking with Sam and Murphy just a minute ago, we have these reach back resolutions on the non-tax exempt loan we're discussing now, this lease arrangement. We can actually reach back, Deb, to the beginning of this year, this fiscal year, and take in those costs we've already paid out for the software to move that along. So those can be counted as expenses in that amount. Do that. And that documentation, I think you said, is in the agreement. Is that right? Or
yeah, for purposes of the taxable, you're exactly right. That you can look back to expenditures made this fiscal year. On the tax exempt side, we included the IRS has some provisions and some requirements that you have to meet, and we've incorporated those, basically the special language to meet those conditions in the order with respect to the limited tax.
Okay. So kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
All right, great, great. Any other comments or questions on this item? Okay. I'll ask for the vote then. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. All right, good enough. Item number 4 is discuss, consider, and take action on to accept. We're going to skip around that one. I'm sorry. Let's go down to number 6 and deal with it. Discuss, consider, and take action to adopt an order authorizing the issuance of Wichita County Limited Tax Note Series 2016, awarding the sale thereof, making provisions for the payment of security thereof, and ordering other matters related thereto. Wow, I love that. Okay, Murphy, go there to it.
And Judge, I suggest on that one that you go ahead and get a motion on the floor, and then for discussion I can come in and legally get them talking about the motion that's on the floor.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Therefore.
How'd we do, Murphy?
Therefore and there too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you get one of these? what you have in front of you is the bid from Wells Fargo, which did everyone get one? The bid from Wells Fargo on the tax-exempt limited tax note that you're looking at and that's on the floor now. If you look on the single page that's attached, or not attached, but the single page that I passed out, those are the 4 bids. Actually, there are 5 bids, one with condition on number 2. But those are the bids that we received. We sent it out to all the local banks. And as you notice, the TI, what's called the true interest cost for Wells Fargo number 1 is the most attractive, easily of the 4 bids, 5 bids, at 1.78%. If you look at the second and the staple pages that are there, and turn to that back page, and I have all of the bidders. And if you'd like to see the individual bids, I have those too for the other bidders that are not as attractive as this one. But their bids, 1.75%, bank counsel fee of $5,000, MAC fee and AG if applicable. The AG is being taken care of by McCall Parkhurst, along with legal fees for McCall Parkhurst. And what we have, the 175 that you see here compared to the 178 and 174 includes that $5,000 of their cost. So that's the net interest cost to the county was 178. We've also made the same calculations for each one of the bidders, and we've netted out any of their individual expenses so that everybody is compared to apples and apples on this thing. So it is all we're done with the same calculations. And this one, Judge, would be, we initially thought, or went to the level of saying, well, what would create the lowest net interest cost? And the lowest net interest cost would be generated if it was not called. And since it was only 7 years, average life of 3.5 to 4 years, we thought, let's put it like that so we can lower the interest cost. But Wells included in theirs the caveat that they wanted the county to have, because they do all of their financings on their notes like this. They said they wanted to have this as a callable anytime the county wished to call it, which means that's a premium to their bid versus everybody else. So if everybody else was exactly the same rate, this rate would be better because the other one bid based on non-callable, which is what we were asking for. We've got a good bid in hand, I'm suggesting. Very, very competitive. And we were hoping we'd get around 2.25 at least, and we had 2 bids that came in, one right at 2.5, and then the winning bid at 1.78%. So we would suggest going forward with it as per our discussions in the past, and that Wells Fargo will be the successful bidder. There is the caveat that Wells Fargo has for the 25 basis points lower rate of the second bid is that the county establishing an account with Wells Fargo, and then on the payment dates for the principal and or interest, that it would be wired into that account. And if you do that, if Billy or whomever, is you set up the account, if you just establish an account with Wells Fargo, and the money, the payments will come directly, you'll just wire it directly into that account, that saves you 25 basis points, which is a good little bit of money on $4 million. So we're suggesting that lowest interest rate bid be accepted as the best bid, including that caveat that the county will establish an account, a depository account with Wells Fargo, to have that money, when it comes due, to have money wired into that account, rather than writing checks instead of anything like that. So that's the only caveat to get, say, to 25 basis points.
Okay. Mr. Hampton, do you have any questions on that? I imagine you're more than familiar with that. process.
25 basis points is certainly a nice caveat. I just had to look this over. Establishing an account at Wells Fargo would not be my recommendation.
Isn't that only for the deposit of the payment?
Yes, it's only for this, it's only to just make your payments. All it's doing is setting up an account. It doesn't have to have anything in it until you make the payments. They're just saying make the payments by wire instead of sending it by check.
Right.
Yeah. Same way as we do payroll. I mean,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I think for the 25 basis points,
Yeah.
Establishing an account is, we'd recommend establishing the account, just because of the value that the county's going to get on its costs of this financing. But you don't have to do anything with the account at Wells Fargo.
No, other than open an account to make that deposit. Okay.
Right. And as soon as this is over, you cancel the account.
Okay.
It's not a longevity kind of contract.
Ms. Stevens, any questions? All right. Anyone else in the audience have any comments or questions? We do have a motion then by Commissioner Harvey and a second by Commissioner Watts to accept the bid from Wells Fargo and open the account for the direct deposit of payment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Okay, item number 7 is discuss, consider, take action on an order authorizing the execution and delivery of a finance contract for the use and acquisition of software, levying a tax and providing for the payment and security thereof, and enacting other provisions related to it. This is simply following up on what we did on the earlier to accept the contract from Pilgrims.
So moved, Judge.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Mahler to approve the item as stated. Any other comments or questions?
This is just for the software, right?
Yes.
And the one that we just did before is for the other things that we...
It's for the tax qualifying expenses. Okay.
Yeah, Judge, I do have,
yes,
I just want to point out, I'll give you guys these copies before I leave today, but the prior item that you just passed, I do have an order here which has Wells Fargo, and the original one we sent out to Willie was before all the bids had come in, so there were blanks, but I do have an order for you today, which includes all the details from Wells Fargo that you accepted previously. And then Commissioner Harvey, on this order, I've got a separate order again for this taxable software transaction, and I have a copy of that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, if I understand right now, item number 8, which is discuss, consider, and take action to authorize county judge and commissioners to sign reimbursement resolution for limited tax note series 2016 and the 2016 finance contract. That is not necessary because we've covered those in the documentations.
That is correct, Judge. That language is included in item number 6.
Okay, and then for the software, that's not, that law covers that, is that?
That's
okay,
correct.
Thank you. All right. The commissioners tell me what you all would like to do. I need to, so they can get back to Murphy has an appointment in Dallas, and Sam needs to get back to Dallas. You all can go on, and I'll excuse myself and go in the other room and sign these things and get that done.
Did we finish number 8?
Well, we don't need to do anything with
okay.
number 8. That's what I was just clarifying.
We don't have to sign that right now.
Right.
Okay.
One's covered by the law that covers it, the taxable one, and the other is covered by the agreement.
Okay.
It's within it.
Well, Judge, we don't have much left. Just knock it out and be done with it.
Well, Barry can grab it.
Yeah, you've got to go
Yeah.
back to a couple of those, and we haven't done 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
And then you've got 9
None.
and 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't take much.
All right. but don't recess because we have a work session planned for this afternoon.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
God, he knows us, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Judge, do we need a motion for Judge Pro Tem, or can we just proceed?
Go ahead and proceed. I'll designate
Okay.
you. I'll be
All
right
right.
back in.
All right, good.
Elvis hasn't left the building. I'm just going to.
All right, let's move on to number 4. Discuss, consider, take action to accept Texoma trailer body and welding estimate number 151 in amount of $3,507.10 for equipping the Precinct 2 new service truck with grill guard, running board, dump body, tarp, and light bar, with payment from Precinct 2 capital expenditure line for the truck. Commissioner Harvey.
So moved.
Got a second?
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Watts. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And it passes 4-0. Or I guess I could ask for opposed, but since we all voted yay, I don't think there's much need. Number 5, discuss, consider, and take action to approve consulting agreement with Harper Perkins and HOK Architects with expense to be paid from Permanent Improvement Fund. This is a group that we've been consulting with for some time, as well as others.
This is an exciting time, Commissioner Muller, and I'd like to make this motion to move forward with HOK and hope we get some direction on the jail and how to proceed. And this cost is far less than what we had previously encountered with others, and yet these are very experienced architects and
Professional
group that have done
projects.
very large projects, and I'm excited that we're able to make agreement with them and consult doing our jail venture. So.
Have a motion by Commissioner Watts. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And it passes 4-0. That'll move us to number, let me get my sheet turned over. That'd be number 9, I believe. Discuss, consider, take action to approve County Treasurer's report for July 2016 and authorize the County Judge Commissioner to sign affidavit certifying compliance with Section 114.026 for July. Mr. Hampton.
We're looking at July and this year, and if you have any questions, I'll be glad to entertain them. We're, right now, compared to the trailing 12 months, we are 2% ahead of where we were last year. That's the good news.
It is good news.
Bad news is we're 3% behind where we were in 2014.
Any questions, gentlemen?
No.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the report.
So moved.
And authorize us to sign. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Harvey. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And it passes 4-0. That will bring us to number 10, discuss and review jail work orders. And they're continuing to look better.
Just got off the phone with Lamar Bear. Our exhaust fan came in this morning on FedEx ground, and it will be installed this week.
If this wasn't so serious, it would nearly be funny, because we've been dealing with this exhaust fan for a while.
Well, if you look on there, I think it says 400 and how many days we're coming back?
But maybe we're about to get over the horizon.
Yeah, we're fixing to put her to bed.
Any other comments or questions? Numbers look good. The number of days past due, that list continues to come down, which is good progress.
Well, when we started paying attention to this very closely, there was 4 pages of those.
We're
work
to a
orders.
half a page now.
We're to a half a page, and the lead time on that, if you'll look at that, those items are not on there for months and months. They're getting addressed in a very expeditious manner. So.
Well, and as we discussed before, Commissioner, that's probably going to be an ongoing leak.
Oh, sure.
I mean, you're going to have that.
Something's going to break every day.
Yeah, when you've got that kind of usage. So I think we're down to just a general maintenance deal, but a lot of people have worked very hard. And part of the deal, when Bob was given the financial report, we've invested a lot of money in this project too, but it had to be done. And it needed to be done, and it's got us in better working condition. Do we need to approve that?
No,
yeah,
we
we'll
just
approve. Do I have a motion to approve the report?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Got a motion by Commissioner Watt, second by Commissioner Harvey. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, and that will pass 4-0. Time for public comments. Anybody in the audience have anything to offer?
Hands to Hands has been running some very expensive advertising on Thursday. All day long is an opportunity for the public to contribute towards nonprofit organizations here in Wichita Falls, Wichita County. And if you have any questions on that, I'd be glad to try to answer them for you. I've got a little printout for you that some of the area nonprofits that I'm familiar with are trying to target to try to explain it in less than 2.5 days. It's kind of hard, but if you look at the spreadsheet, there are a couple of opportunities there that if a certain amount is given over a designated period of time, then there's a reward situation. Some is $5,000 and some $15,000. So, for example, Campfire, any of the Hands to Hands organizations that get involved in Hands to Hands are very in need of this type of funding. So I'll bring each one of you gentlemen by a card.
You do realize, Bob, that's not a Hands to Hands.
Oh, it's not a Hands to Hands. It's a
Right.
community type deal.
It's a Wichita Falls Area Community Foundation.
Yeah.
And
But it basically, it's as simple as calling in your contribution, right?
well,
I'm sorry, sir?
It's as simple as calling in your contribution.
Exactly.
well,
You don't even have to designate anybody. They just,
there's a little more to it than that.
But I mean, in essence, that's how you give.
Yeah, you do it online, and like the Pretty Foundation, the Edwards Foundation, the Fain Foundation, they've all come together and they've set goals. And so, for instance, there's 10 different charitable organizations that they're all trying to get their people to work together. And so this is hypothetical. From noon to 1 o'clock, whoever gets the most money raised from noon to 1 o'clock will win a $15,000 prize from Pretty Foundation. So, and then the one who uses social media the best, they'll win a $5,000 prize. It's
Incentive budget.
Bob, help me. Is it a $150,000 prize bucket? Isn't that what it is? Isn't there? I think that's what it is. And it's just a way to bring giving into the 21st century. So they don't want you to write a check.
We'll see how it works.
Yes. Well, it's been very successful in the Metroplex. So thought they'd try it here. I know.
So bottom line, Friday. Is that it, Bob, Friday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Starting at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
In the morning.
There's a 6 to 6:15 window there that Hands to Hands is shooting for, and then in the afternoon, Campfire is trying for one. So I'll. And are you saying, Bob, are you favoring and discriminating? Absolutely. And I'll bring you by a little
brochure
formula deal if you care to look at it, but it involves everybody in this county. Be cool to have a lot of participation.
Very good. Thank you, Bob. Anybody else? Comments? Commissioners? Anything? Fair starts this week.
Yep, that's coming up.
It's going to be going on. Got livestock shows and exhibits and carnival
Lots of
rides.
homecomings, activities.
A lot of homecomings. We had a good one in Iowa Park this last week. And,
Lots of classes got together. The end of the month is Electris. They've got a lot of activity planned over there, silent auctions and some things going about town on Saturday.
Yeah, good. I'll try not to hit the door. Mr. Harvey, anything?
It's going to be busy September.
Well, Shepherd's got theirs.
Yeah.
When is the bird hunt for Burke?
We had it.
Had it.
Oh, it was this past weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big turnout, good turnout.
We grew by 5-fold over
wow.
what we had last year.
Wow, good.
So we'll get all those numbers put together and pulled together, and we'll present them at our board meeting this Thursday, so we'll know where we shook out.
Air shows this weekend?
16th and 17th, roustabouts from Burke Burnett will be feeding about 400 folks on the 16th at the base. Same day I'll be feeding the county clerk's office at noon. Kind of funny how that fell in place. Double duty, but that's okay. We'll figure it out.
If we come help, can we sample?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's important.
Yeah. So a lot of things going on. Busy September.
Absolutely. Mr. Gonzalez.
Oktoberfest is also coming up. Yeah.
You know, Lee and I went to the base Friday, and they had a parade, and I think what it was is that a special date that's been set aside for the military to honor
nationwide,
yes, the POWs and MIs, and I don't know, I hadn't seen a military parade in forever, seems like, and it was real impressive to see all those young people out there and all of them marching in step. But it was great. It was great to see all that.
I'm not really sure what you call each one of those groups.
Squadrons.
Squadrons. And there's probably 150, 200 people in a squadron. And there's like 10 of them out there. And it's a bunch of folks. What was really cool was at the end of it, whenever it was over with, the general grabbed the microphone. He said, "Troops, one knee around me." And I mean double time. Here they come. And it was just a huge circle around the semicircle. And he had the veterans come out there. And Ray was one of them. And just recognized and told those young airmen that this is the mark that they need to reach, and it gave me goosebumps. I mean, it was really absolutely awesome what he did. So it was great. And I really enjoyed seeing Ray out there surrounded by those young folks and showing a tribute to Ray. It was cool. It was really cool.
Very good. Anybody? Anything else? If not, we are going to recess. We've got a work session this afternoon.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
We're going to
What's that?
Closed session.
Yeah.
with
Oh, we do have a closed session. I don't have that on my agenda.
Yes,
Oh, I
you
do
do.
too. It's down at the bottom. Okay. All right, we'll clear the courtroom for the closed session. Thank you, folks, for coming. We better get the judge back in here for that. Yep, we have a closed session with our attorney's office.
I just want to let you know that I still have that packet. I just left it on my desk. So